Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today, well, we're going to be addressing the transmission on this pickup here, 2014 Silverado. I'm going to take you guys into my shop. It's a little bit windy, so I don't want the wind to kill this audio. But basically what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be replacing the, I'm going to call it, there's probably a technical name for it, but I'm going to call it the thermostat, if you will, for the transmission. GM has, in a very roundabout way, hasn't come out and said it, but there is a service bulletin out there that has taken several forms that I'm part of by Wildfire, because they have released a, like I say, I'm going to call it a thermostat, if you will. I don't know the technical name for it. An updated thermostat housing that opens at somewhere in the 150, 160 degree mark instead of waiting all the way to 190. This is a really simple swap. Take you 15 to 30 minutes if you got the tools handy. So I'm going to show you just the parts here that you need for it. Okay, so in this package here, I've got it. I think I ordered from GM Parts Direct. I'll leave a link down below. But I got the little gasket, which I think I'm actually not even going to end up needing, because this is for the newer style that has the screw-in lines, where mine has the easy connect lines. So if you need it, there's the part number, and I'll leave it down below in a link. And then here's the actual housing itself. Once again, there's your part number. And I need to get this opened up so everyone can look at it. But you can see, this is it right here. Now, if you have a, I believe, 2016 or newer, this is a really simple installation. There's going to be a bolt right here that runs through on the side of your housing, and I'll show you here in a second. You take that bolt out, and then you unthread the nuts that are on the side of here. You can see how this is threaded. However, that's not going to work if you have an earlier version. They ended up actually replacing the lines on these because the quick disconnect lines, they had a tendency to leak. I don't have any issues with mine though, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reuse my lines. You could buy updated lines, but you're out another $100. This was already like 70 itself, but I can reuse the housing. All I've got to do, in my case, is just take everything out of here to reuse in mine. So if you've got 2016 or newer and you've got the style lines that'll just thread in here, then you can bypass this step. But what I'm going to show you right here, you're going to need a pair of snap ring pliers, and we're going to take that snap ring out. So all I've got to do here is take my snap ring pliers. Apologize about the angle here, guys. I do not have a tripod for this yet, but let's take the snap ring out. It may take me a couple tries here. There we go. Okay, got the snap ring out. You're going to see this is spring loaded, so you are going to have to put a little pressure whenever you take everything back. But remember the order this stuff comes out in. So you got the top piece here. What you're going to notice here is, look at this. See this right here? That piece goes in there just like that. Some people will simply flip the pill, if you will, which they're basically flipping this upside down. And that just lets the fluid run all the time, but we're actually going to fix it correctly with this updated part right here. So remember that, goes just like that, and then there's a spring down in there. Really, you probably only really need part of it, but we're just going to replace all the internals. Okay, so I got the spring out. So these are the three components that we're going to be replacing on the truck. So let's actually go get the housing off of our truck. And all you're going to need are a few wrenches, ratcheting wrenches, make it really easy, flathead screwdriver, and maybe a couple shop towels, because you are going to lose just a little bit of transmission fluid. Okay, so I'm on the driver's side of the truck here. We're going to crawl under this thing, and basically right behind the front wheel here. Let me get all my tools out of my pocket. Okay, and once we're under here, we're looking for this right up here. See, there's your oil filter, your transmission, and that's our guy right here. So, like I say, I think on the newer style, you unbolt this right here, and I want to say these lines thread off. That's not the case with mine. See, it's got these quick disconnect clips on it, and you got to unconnect those with the screwdriver on top and bottom, and then unbolt this bolt right here. So to actually get these off, take a screwdriver on the back side somewhere, and you basically just fish them off. I'm going to try to do that with two hands, and when I get the clip off, you'll see what I'm talking about. So this right here is what the clips actually look like. Let me just grab you one. That right there. So you basically can get in there, wedge a screwdriver right in here, push it off right here, and pop these bad boys off. So there's going to be 2 of them. I got them on my belly here. And then you can simply pull these lines out. It takes a little tug, but they come out, and be prepared to lose a little fluid. And then this right here, this bolt is a 13 millimeter. So I got my handy, this is the first time I got to use them. I'm so proud. My Tractor Supply gear wrench that I got on Black Friday. So we're going to break these bad boys in. So before I lose them though, since I'm out here on the ground, I'm going to put these little clips in my pocket. Okay, so let's break this loose. It wasn't too hard because I've actually, as they call it, flipped the pill in there, which allows for the transmission to have fluid all the time, fresh fluid. So all I'm doing is broke the bolt loose, taking the bolt out. That's going to allow for this to come out. So this bolt I'm just going to throw down there for now. And now it may take a little bit of force, but on the back side here, I'm going to pull this out. We're going to lose a little fluid, so I'm going to get out of the way. There we go. Luckily, I got some to replace the little bit that came out. And then whenever that stops leaking, I'm just going to pull these lines out like this while I'm putting pressure on this side. So if your rig was newer than mine, that was literally the process there. You'd have just unbolted that and slap your new one on. But as you can see here, there's my housing, and this is the new one. They are a bit different, just a bit. See, this is how the lines look on this side, whereas mine has those quick connect lines or whatever they're called, I don't know. But all we got to do now is take the internals out of this one. We're going to swap them in here and cross your fingers and hope that they fit. So just as we did with the other one, snap ring pliers, take the snap ring out. There we go, snap ring. If yours is older, you may have to finesse this a little bit. It may stick. There we go. Okay, I just popped it like that and it popped up. So this is what I was talking about, flipping the pill, if you will. So this is how mine's set up. I got the spring in the middle and then the bottom piece there, and transmission fluid everywhere. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see if this spring fits down in the hole. They look pretty dang close. I think it's going to work. Yep, fell down in the hole there. And then don't get your parts confused here. So this is the new one. Just going to slide into place like so. Compress this, and I'm going to have to compress it on the ground. I found that out last time. And once it's compressed, put that snap ring in, and then we've basically moved all the internals over. And just like that, look, we got the snap ring in, everything's in place. I'm just going to dry it off a little bit. That way we can tell if it's leaking. You definitely, guys, make sure that snap ring's down in there good. See, that's not quite under the lip yet. So I'm going to give it a little pressure. Make sure that that sets in. And I can definitely tell it's in on this side here. So just make sure that that snap ring's in there nice and good, because you don't want to be leaking transmission fluid. These things already have enough problems as they are with the transmission. So we got this cleaned up nice and good. I need to clean up my poor Ranger. It gets oil and crap all over it. Now all we got to do is reinstall this. I believe this bolt here has a torque spec 15, 20 pounds, something like that. I've just always been one of those guys. I don't have a smaller torque wrench, just a large one for lug nuts, so I just get it good and tight and make sure it's not leaking. So let's go reinstall this. So now all we got to do is reinstall this. It's really not that hard. This side up. Go ahead and set it up in there. And if you wanted to replace that gasket, you can. Mine's good though. I should probably put the new one on, but maybe some other time. Put that bolt in. If I find those torque specs, I'll leave them down in the comments. I know that's the right thing to do. Getting fluid everywhere. Okay, so now that bolt's in a fair amount of the way, I'm going to take these lines. Before I tighten it down, I'm going to go ahead and put my lines in place. Top one, or bottom one rather. Top one. And you think these are in, but you really need to push them. You'll feel them click whenever they're in. And then once you got your lines into place, like I say, you're going to feel them click. Make sure they click in. You can see how the bottom is recessed there. We're going to take one of our little clips. This is actually why I like these, as long as they don't leak. Take your little clip, slide it up on there, slides over it, and clips in literally just like that. They're easy, super easy, but I guess they have a tendency to leak or something. So hopefully I didn't lose the other one. No, I feel it here. Top one's a little trickier. It's handy to have small hands here. Handy to have small hands most of the time doing mechanical stuff. I'm gonna clip this on and come back to you guys. Okay, it's on. Now if you want to, you can spray this down, clean it up. And I definitely would recommend coming back after a few days, making sure you don't got any leaks or anything like that. But once you do that, you just make sure you got this right here, this bolt tightened down. Go the right way. Make sure you got her tightened down. That's pretty good right there, I'd say. And guys, we're done. See, it's really not too bad of a job. That didn't take long at all, maybe 15 minutes, like I say, if you got all your tools out and everything ready to go. But that is gonna keep our transmission running cooler, which I guess the idea is it should last longer if it's running cooler. If history tells us anything, cooler transmissions last longer. So it's a good change, especially since GM is in a roundabout way, not necessarily, but in a roundabout way recommending it. I think it's a good thing to do, guys. All the parts that you've seen here, OEM, genuine GM stuff. And I did it for like, it was 80 bucks all shipped to the house and everything by the time I paid for shipping and whatnot for the seal and for the actual piece there. And then I didn't even need the lines, even though my truck was older style. So guys, if this video helped you out, you want your transmission to run a little bit cooler on your truck, leave a thumbs up on this. Be sure to share with your friends so they see how to do this. And also, as I said, I'll leave a link down below so you guys can have all the same materials that I had here to get the job done. Guys, until the next video, take care.